welcome to World War G, Ogden, Utah's #1 longest-running podcast. I'm Troy.
I'm AJ.
Friends, this is a podcast. That's Latin for as is. We record it, slap some stolen music on it, and then up to the web it goes.
We're back.
We're back. A dinosaur story.
Yeah. Boy. We took a very inconvenient time to take a break.
Yeah.
Now, the break was kind of accidental.
Right. Yeah.
So, okay, here's what happened. So, the first week we were going to record, you had injured yourself.
Yes. Yeah, I like...
At work, right?
Uh-huh. Still going to physical therapy. I got an appointment Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you had... I can't remember what you said. Like...
I was
fell off the dock? Or
No. So, I was helping... Oh, man, this will teach me to ever fucking help a coworker again. But he was like, hey, do you mind if I... or do you mind giving me a hand lifting this wedge thing? So I went and lifted it up to him, but then, like, he kind of turned it this direction, so I had to compensate and step over to the side.
Yeah.
But I tripped over the hand truck that he still had laying down. And then I tripped over it. My left knee popped out of socket. My right knee fell over the top of the sharp part.
Jesus.
And then the wedge fell on top of that. My leg. Yeah, I mean, it's looking a hell of a lot better, than what it was. I mean, it still kind of hurts, but I woke up that day and I was just like, I cannot go to work. Because initially I did the whole thing where I'm just like, no, I can just keep working. It's whatever. It'll stop hurting. Tore some muscles or something inside of there a little bit. But no breaks because they did do X-rays and everything on it.
That's good.
But yeah.
Yeah, you sent me a photo of it, and your ankle was swollen up huge.
Yeah. Damn, those were cankles right there.
Just like, yeah, you stay home. Don't worry about coming. You go get that checked out. So that's what happened the first week. Then the second week, I got COVID.
Again.
Thanks, Wendover. Yeah, did a little mini vacation with the GF in Wendover. And I got the COVID.
Got that Rona.
Got the Rona. The first time I got it back in November of 2020, it felt like I just had a really bad cold.
Right.
And then, but even after I recovered from that, I didn't have any smell, didn't have any taste, all that stuff. So, but this time I caught it, I woke up. You got
your taste back?
No, I wish. Luckily, it wasn't affected this time.
Okay.
I didn't have to go through that shit again. That would have really pissed me off. So I woke up Saturday morning, get ready to go to work, and I just felt like crap.
Yeah.
Like the same thing with you. It was like, well, if I go to work, maybe I'll feel better, work itself out. No, I just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I felt like I had a really bad flu. So I called out that day. Told my mom, asked if we still had some home tests.
Yeah.
We didn't. So she ran to the pharmacy, grabbed a couple of tests, took the test. It was positive. So I had to isolate for the next 5 days down here. Don't worry, everything's been cleaned and vacuumed. So
yeah. You're good.
But it was interesting. It's like the first day, it was like all flu symptoms, like really cold, body aches,
Yeah.
Second day, it morphed into kind of cold type symptoms, whereas mostly in my head and runny nose, coughing, sneezing. Third and fourth day, it was all in my chest.
Oh, geez.
It was all respiratory.
Yeah.
I'll probably cough during sometime while we're recording because I still got some residuals in there. You even might be able to still hear my voice a little bit. And it's now been 9 days since I got it, or since I woke up feeling crappy.
Right.
And I'm still not 100%.
It just kind of lingers.
Yeah, it lingers. Like I said, taste wasn't affected, smell wasn't affected. Thank God. I think this variant that I got, it doesn't affect that.
So we were just kind of gonna play it by ear as far as the podcast goes. We're just okay, we'll kind of see how you're feeling or whatnot. And I didn't hear anything. I'm like, I don't know. Should I reach out? And I was like, so.
Yeah, I was out Sunday. I was out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just barely got back from my vacation just last night.
So I went to a wedding.
Yeah.
In California, right?
Yep, Long Island on the beach. Like nice. It was a lot of fun. It was pretty cool. Except for like it was a lot of work at the same time. Like you go, and I mean there was some vacation time where I could go walk around, see the city, go explore. But yeah, we were like primarily helping with the wedding, getting it ready. But then like the wedding itself, it was a blast. Yeah. It was awesome. Yeah.
Now is this somebody?
I met through gaming. That's it. Yeah. So gotcha. I initially had said like this was about 9 years ago. Jackie, she knew her girlfriend since high school, and they'd been dating like for years and years. And I'm like, wow, you've been dating that long? Like, when are you gonna get married? Hey, dibs on being the best man. You know, like just joking about that. And then like years later, and it was cool because like we also had our Canadian friends and our San Diego friends and a couple other people like from all over came together, and like it was funny is because I also to the wedding I brought some podcast cards. I brought some of our cards, passed out a few of those, made a couple of other like friends. One gal who was the maid of honor, she actually works on the TV show The Rookie with like Nathan Fillion.
Right,
so like initially we started talking about Nathan Fillion, and like it was fantastic. But she'd never seen Dr. Horrible's sing along vlog.
Really?
Yeah. So
it's interesting. You'd think if you worked with somebody like that, like, hey, let's see what else they've done.
What other projects they've kind of done. Yeah. No, and she had for the most part. She'd seen a lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you give one to her? To give one to Nathan? That'd be cool,
right? Hey, if you wouldn't mind, like throwing this to him, we
accidentally leave a couple on set.
We had said like a couple years back, we had said hi to him and talked to him for a minute, but we didn't actually like get an interview.
Did we?
Yeah. I will have a picture like where he's because what like initially happened is like the handler had said something about us not being able to interview, but because the line never died.
Right. Yeah. Which, speaking of that,
yes,
we haven't been able to talk about this yet. Your boys are going back to FanX and doing press again this year.
Troy secured some press passes.
Got our press passes.
Yeah. I'm so stoked.
So we'll be doing that again. We'll be trying to get interviews and pictures and all kinds of stuff. Oh, yeah, there he is.
That was 2014.
Okay.
Yeah. April.
That's right.
You interview so many celebrities. I mean,
I know, it's hard to keep track. Speaking of which, you know that game, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Yes.
We are 1 degree from Kevin Bacon.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
Shut the front door. How?
So, we have talked and interviewed to Jim Cummings a few times, right? A couple of times. He worked with Kevin Bacon in Balto, the movie Balto.
Oh.
So
1 degree away.
We're 1 degree from Kevin Bacon.
Wow. The name of the episode.
All right. That's enough of all the catch up and what we've been doing and everything.
Let's see what's in what everybody else has been up to.
But first, let's get to Happy Birth Death Day. So these are people of significance that were born and died on this day. Born on this day in 1963, Whitney Houston.
A singer.
Yes.
She, what's the one? I will always love you. Yeah, right?
Okay. That was her big hit from the movie The Bodyguard.
Yes.
It's also actually a cover from a Dolly Parton song.
Oh, really?
Yep. Oh. Dolly Parton made bank on that money.
On
that song.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
She got so ridiculously wealthy from that song. Unfortunately, Whitney passed away in 2012, but yeah, she was born in 1963. Born on this day August 9th in 1967. Deion Sanders.
Football player.
Yep.
I appreciate that you throwing me a bone here. Yep. Yeah. He played for the Cowboys.
Yes.
Yeah.
He won several Super Bowls with the Cowboys. Also played baseball, turns out.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He was outfield for the Yankees and the Braves.
Dude, wasn't there some sort of, like, I'm not sure if it was him or if it was somebody else, but he had, like, a crazy stat where it was, he'd hit a home run, then he went over and then, like, ran it in for a touchdown or something, like, on a kickoff, or some, like, he's got some sort of stat where this, like, never been, like, duplicated.
Was it Bo Jackson? Because Bo Jackson played a lot of sports.
Yeah.
Like, he played football and baseball. And
a lot of times, like, you see these professional athletes and you're like, dang, they got, like, they could play football, like, they could play basketball, they could do, like, these other things, especially these, like, wide receivers that are, like, 6'5" or something, you know, I'm like, yeah, they could, like, make the hop over to another sport if they wanted to.
Then you're Michael Jordan, and that does not work out well for you.
No. But he had enough money to buy the Wizards and to play on them, so, yeah.
Also born on this day in 1970, Thomas Lennon. Now, before I say anything, no, he's not related to John Lennon in any way.
Damn it.
I know how your mind works.
Yeah,
I know that's where you were going.
It was.
Thomas Lennon.
That I'm not sure.
Okay. He's an actor, writer, producer. He's best known. Did you ever watch Reno 911?
No.
Okay, did you ever watch the movie 13 Going on 30?
Yes. Yeah.
The
director?
He was... Wait, now I'm getting mixed up. No, what was the movie with Zac Efron? Where Matthew Perry went back and he was his younger self when he was Zac Efron. What was that movie? 13 Going on 30 was Jennifer Garner.
Right. Similar concept.
Yeah, similar concept. What was that movie called? Damn. Has something to do with 17 Again.
17 Again. That's what it was.
He played the best friend in 17 Again.
Oh, okay.
He was also in a remake of The Odd Couple, again with Matthew Perry. I think you'd know him if you saw him.
Some of these celebrities, like, they work with somebody, they have a great time, and they're like, hey, let's make another movie together.
Yeah.
That's how it works a lot of the time. They're like, we really liked your chemistry. Like, let's do this.
Also born on this day in 1985, Anna motherfucking Kendrick.
Oh, man, really?
Yep.
One of the patron saints.
One of the patron saints of this podcast.
I was like, when you said 85, I'm like, okay, all right. I should know this. Like, you know.
Yep. I mean, what can we say about Anna Kendrick? I've been singing her praises for years now. I'm totally in love with her.
When are we going to meet her?
I don't know.
Like, I want to be 1 degree away from her.
I'd more than 1 degree. I like to be negative degrees in between her.
-8.
Yeah. 8? You're giving me a lot of credit there. She doesn't like do the con circuit or anything, so who knows?
How are we gonna? I guess we could send her a creepy letter.
We could.
Be like, hey, would you care to be on our podcast?
Enclosed are 5 of my eyelashes.
There are some celebrities that you're just like, yeah, I think that we could, like, they'd be pretty cool, like, in person.
Yeah.
She's definitely one of them.
Yep. All right, let's get to the deaths. Died on this day in 2008 at the age of 50, Bernie Mac.
Oh, the comedian.
Yes.
The Bernie Mac show.
Yep.
I watched his movie actually on a plane. It was to California, too. That Mr. 3000.
Oh, yeah, the baseball movie.
Yeah. It was pretty decent. Like, it wasn't bad. Like, that he was somehow the record wasn't actually 3,000. It was like 2,099, but he had based his whole career and everything after playing professional baseball on being Mr. 3,000. Mm-hmm. So then he had to get back in shape in order to get one more home run.
One more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's funny in pretty much everything he's in. When he shows up,
oh yeah,
it's like Transformers, Ocean's 11.
Although it's kind of sad to watch now that that he's dead. Kind of
suddenly too. He died from pneumonia.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
Died on this day in 1995 at the age of 53. Jerry Garcia.
Man, you're throwing in some Jerry Garcia. Sports.
Nope.
No? There's got to be a Jerry Garcia.
I'm sure there is. But this particular one.
Yeah. Actor?
No. You got one more guess there. He's not an athlete. He's not an actor.
He's got to be a director. Composer? Man.
No, he's a musician.
Oh.
He was the lead singer for the Grateful Dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can picture the dude, like, bigger guy, curly hair.
Big old beard.
Yeah, big old, yeah.
Yep. Always wore tie-dye.
I don't know, wait, do you have any more deaths?
I do, I have a couple.
Okay, alright.
Died on this day in 1969, Sharon Tate.
I want to say, I can't think of what she's been in, but I want to say she is an actress.
She is. She wasn't in much because on this day in 1969, she was murdered by the Manson family.
Oh, geez. Yeah. I know the name sounds so familiar.
Yep. And she was pregnant at the time.
Ugh.
Super fun.
Yeah.
And then one last death here. Died in 1948. Hugo Boss.
Very there's a lot of clothing line and all sorts of other stuff. There was actually somebody else, dude, that died not too long ago. I mean, it was today.
Really?
Yeah. The actress, what is her name? Olivia Newton-John. She played Sandy.
Yeah. I don't think she died today. I think that was yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
I was just seeing things all over.
Yeah. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of tributes and stuff for Olivia Newton-John. Everybody's singing her praises. She was never on my radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than just in Grease.
I've never seen Grease.
And you were in the theater?
I know, right?
What the hell?
I've never seen Grease. I've never seen Xanadu. I've never listened to her music. She just wasn't somebody I ever got into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you'll never will.
No, I never will. All right. Let's get to This Week in Geek.
This Week in Geek.
Now, caveat here. Some of these stories are going to be a little older.
Yeah.
A couple weeks. So just keep that in mind as we go forward here.
Oh, for sure. Logan and Deadpool, the movies, are coming or are now on Disney Plus.
Yes.
It was once hard to imagine that 20th Century Studios, more mutant movie projects, and Deadpool would ever make its way to Disney. That, I would if you would have said that years ago that rated R movies and stuff would be on Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have said no, not at all. I do, however, think that because they now have those things in place where you can per the parental controls and also lock your account if you want to, I do think that makes it a little bit nicer. But Disney, their bread and butter has always been family wholesome films and stuff, and now seeing this, it's got a lot of people kind of upset about it.
Well, I think they painted themselves into a corner because Disney Plus is supposed to be the go-to for everything Disney, all their movies, everything. the reason that they kind of do this to themselves is because buying all this stuff, particularly 20th Century Fox, all of a sudden they bought a lot of rated R films.
Yes, yeah.
And so either you put them on your platform or you have to then pick and choose what's going to go on there and what's not.
But because I think it's because they were such big successes that you kind of have to put it on your platform.
Sure. And that's the choice you have to make.
Right. Unless you wanted to open up like a Disney R plus or something. You know what I mean? Like do a completely separate thing. Or just keep them completely separate because... and keep them like with like Fox, open up a streaming service or something. But I feel like then... you're taking money away from yourself at the same time.
Right. And plus people would complain that there's another streaming service and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do they do this going forward? Does that mean that we're going to see Deadpool... I mean, because they are doing a Deadpool 3, but we'll see that on the streaming service as well. But do you think that they will ever... do like they've done with these other movies, the live action ones? They'll just release it in like maybe a limited time in theaters and then release it just on their platform? Or
knowing Disney, probably not.
Yeah.
Disney really likes money, so Disney wants to get their movies into theaters and keep them in there as long as possible. Yeah. So I can't really see them doing that.
This will be interesting to see if we actually see... Like, we've seen them now on their platform, but it'll be interesting to see if they actually bring, like, Deadpool to Disneyland or California Adventures. Right? Or the Mutants. Like, I'm sure they would do fantastic, and they would make a lot of money. Maybe I could see it in California Adventures... them doing some sort of like Deadpool land or X-Men mutant land or something. Like you can become a mutant yourself.
Because they have like the Avengers Academy,
a Guardians of the Galaxy
ride. And so you could fit Deadpool like into that area, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah.
That just reminded me. I need to watch Logan again. It's been a long time.
Somebody was like talking about that they'd never seen it, and ended up. I watched it last week, and like they liked it because they'd never seen it before. They really liked it, but they're just like, it was okay. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? It's a fantastic film.
Yeah, it's great. Well, if you've ever wanted to learn High Valyrian from Game of Thrones, here's your chance. Everyone who watched Game of Thrones knows at least one word in High Valyrian, Dracarys, or Dracarys. That was enough, though. Well, every known Targaryen gone from Westeros, there wasn't a lot of need to use the famed house's native language. Blah 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 blah.
I know that they brought in a specialist that actually like created the language and like kind of wanted it to have a certain sound.
Right. So now that we're getting the Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon, set 150 years before the original series, HBO Max has partnered with Duolingo, and you can now learn how to speak House Targaryen's original language with more words and phrases than ever before. So you can actually teach yourself High Valyrian if you want to.
I don't think this would ever be like... I love a lot of different franchises, and I think it's so cool and impressive when they actually like create a language for them, rather than just kind of fake it till you make it.
Kind of like they do with the Minions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there's never been a language that I'm like, oh, I would love to learn that. Because I'd much rather learn Spanish. If I'm going to learn anything.
Something that would actually be practical to you.
Exactly.
That would actually help you.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to go through like all these different franchises like Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got Elvish. that's its own language. You got Klingon, that's become its own language from Star Trek.
Yeah. And I think it's cool, like, I mean, more power to you if you're going to, like, if you wanted to learn a language, and by all means. But that's never been a thing that I've really ever wanted to pursue.
And where are you going to use it?
Yeah, honestly. At, like, a couple of cons each year. Like, as much as I love Bulgaria and I love the Bulgarian people and stuff, like, I've only used it a handful of times.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I'm talking to a couple of people, like, from Bulgaria.
Right.
But for the most part, I'm like, yeah, man, I really wish I knew Spanish. Like, I really wish I knew, like, you know, German, Japanese, something more, a little more
practical.
Right.
Yeah. But, hey, for you ultra Game of Thrones nerds, you know, go at it.
Well, don't you think that Game of Thrones kind of left a bad taste in everybody's mouth? So why would you want to go back and learn a language that, like, you're already, like, pissed off at?
That's a good point.
Do you think the actors, I mean, they might know a handful of words, but do you think any of them actually went back and learned the language?
I doubt it.
Right?
I doubt it. I think they know their lines.
Mm-hmm.
But that's probably pretty much it.
They know enough to get themselves into trouble. That's about it. So Insidious 5 gets a release date with Patrick Wilson directing. There has been some great modern horror franchises in the last decade that have haunted the genre. While most fans will point to The Conjuring as one of the best, you could argue there could be an argument made that would say that James Wan's classic Insidious is up there as well. The franchise has been dormant for almost half a decade, and there's been a lot of development with the fifth film over the last few years. But Insidious 5 has an official release date. This underrated horror franchise is returning to theaters July 7th, 2023. This is great news since we really haven't heard any updates on the film. The franchise star, Patrick Wilson, said that the project would start production in the spring of 2022. Back in February. Wilson said that he would also be playing his character Josh, but then he would be directing as well. I feel like, I mean, I feel like it would be more of like a co-director kind of a situation. But it does say that also Ty Simpkins will be returning as Josh's son, Dalton. So I'm glad to see that they're getting like the whole family back. Not much is still known about Insidious 5's plot, but we do know that the film takes place 10 years after the original, with Dalton now in college.
Okay.
I feel like Dalton would want to be pursuing, or perhaps like, he goes away to college to kind of do his own thing, but either he gets pulled back into the family business, or he feels like he's still got an attachment to like the further and to the, you know, to that whole realm, and gets brought back into it. Go ahead.
And I was just gonna say, I remember, it's been a long time, but I remember liking the Insidious films.
Right, same.
It's been a minute though, and I always get it mixed up with all these other ones.
The Conjuring, Purge, like all the The Blumhouse has really, like, they've definitely become a force, but they've also done all these side projects that they throw in the mix, and they've also kind of gone the direction that, because they were created by the Saw franchise and by the, what was the other franchise? Damn it. Saw and one other, damn it, I can't even think of what it was.
Was it that found footage one?
Paranormal Activity. Yes, it was, yeah. Okay, so those guys initially created it, but they don't know when to stop. So I'm more like, it sounds like an interesting project, and I'm glad to see that they're bringing back the family, but at the same time, we're getting way too many of these films.
Are they going to bring back Darth Maul's crackhead cousin?
Oh, right? Perhaps. He was terrifying up until you actually saw him.
Yeah.
And then, like, you start hearing that tiptoe through the... And it's like, okay. He's crawling on the walls and it was whatever. But before that, he was terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, seeing him behind, yeah. That's the thing of nightmares right there.
Well, speaking of release dates,
yes,
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 gets release date for 2024. Paramount Pictures has officially set the release date for the upcoming third film in the blockbuster Sonic the Hedgehog series, which is expected to feature the return of Ben Schwartz as the titular speedster. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is scheduled to arrive in theaters on December 20th, 2024, just in time for the holiday season.
So with the first one, they kind of like set up the universe and they introduced some, some villains. And in the second one, it felt like they threw in a lot more Easter eggs.
Yep. You got Knuckles, you got Tails.
Just going gold.
Yep, spoiler there at the very end.
Yeah.
You got Supersonic.
So I appreciated that, and I actually liked it a little bit more than I thought I was going to like it.
Yeah, me too.
But I feel like with this third installment, you can either go crazy with, like, Jim Carrey's, I think he's done.
I think he is too.
Yeah.
I think he said he's even like just retiring in general.
Retiring, except for if a good project comes along that he likes. Yeah, he put that little asterisk in there. Right. I mean, they all do that. Yeah. But it's not like he needs money or anything else.
He can just sit home and paint and be crazy.
Yeah. Talk about the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, okay, if Jim Carrey dies within the next year, dude, like, there's going to be a conspiracy. It was the Illuminati. He finally said too much. But I feel like with this third installment, you can go kind of crazy with random different characters that we've never seen before, and you can kind of make your own story.
I'm guessing that's what they do.
Right.
I'm guessing there's not going to be many live action things in this third one.
Yeah.
I'm betting there might be a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then he'll end up going back to his
home planet.
Right. And the movie will take place there. That's what I'm guessing.
That's a pretty safe guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel like they'd have to bring in some big name actors to play iconic characters.
Sure.
But yeah, for the most part, I think it's going to take place. They're going to pull basically like a 4-3, where it's like, was it the second one? No, it was the third one where they go back to like his home planet and you kind of explore more of that. That's kind of the direction I think. Yeah, you're right that they'll probably go.
Yeah. Those Sonic movies really aren't bad.
No, they're
like I was surprised. Like I had no hope for those movies.
No, not at all.
But they're kind of charming. They're kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. So this is I had to bring up this story when I initially saw it. All over the internet on YouTube and stuff. I'm like, yeah, we need to talk about that for sure. Teabagging is once again in gaming news. This time it's Apex Legends. According to Dilly, an aspiring Apex competitive player, he and his team were banned from a Fate League tournament after winning a fight. Okay, so what initially happened is you went in there, and before his buddy was able to respawn, you get a death box that drops of your character so that you can actually loot the character and grab any stuff that you want. He ran over to his buddy who died and quickly did a couple of teabags and did you get a chance to check out the video?
I didn't.
Yeah, he just ran over maybe one or two teabags and then ran off, and the moderator for the whole entire event was just no, teabagging is not allowed, and was quick to ban him. But then everybody in the chat was saying hey, that's his own team, that's his own player, that's his buddy or whatever, why is he getting banned? And because there was so much they kept talking about it and bringing it back up, and he was having to answer all these other questions and stuff, he just banned and canceled the whole event. Wow. Which there was a purse on the line for I think $50,000. It was a pretty big event. But yeah, let me pull this up. Let me show you here.
Twitch, the Terror Day. Appreciate you sticking around. Yo, okay, Dilly is.
Let me pull this up initially. But it just made me laugh because teabagging, ever since Halo, has been a part of the gaming world.
Yeah.
I do understand and I do get it when it comes to teabagging like other people. It's really disrespectful. Like it still irks me whenever it happens. Like I'll be playing the game and then all of a sudden they start teabagging and you're just like, you son of a bitch. Like what the hell? But if it's just your own friends, like, because we'll do that like with each other, we'll be playing like private matches and then we'll run over and like teabag each other and then like shoot them, and it's funny, like it pisses you off, but at the same time it makes you laugh and you just kind of go with it. So I don't think it was like meant disrespectfully.
Well, yeah, and that's one of many reasons I don't do online gaming. But okay, so for those who don't know, teabagging is basically when you
crouch and stand back up.
Yeah. When you defeat an enemy, you go over to them, like right over, like before their character, respawns. Go over to them and you crouch on them a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting your nuts, your computer fake nuts, and on them. Let me go ahead and show you this little clip here.
Twitch, the Terror Day. Appreciate
you. It's like 1, 2, 3.
Yo, okay, Dilly is Crazy Penguins is disqualified. I'm not taking that at all. Oh, he went over to the dead body that they just killed, and he went teabagged on the fucking death box.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Will not tolerate that. Literally goes in fucking out of his way to jump on a death box and teabag it. Don't think so. I have a fucking panic pet. Yeah, so we're here to create a safe space for all gamers, everybody, and that kind of stuff will not be tolerated. Yes, we will not take that.
Huh. Interesting.
They're trying to say that was his own teammate. Yeah, they're saying that he teabagged his own teammate. So it doesn't matter, folks. Like, when you're in a tournament, you're in a professional tournament. You can't be doing that. And something people need to really understand. Yeah, so, like, you can't do that. Just like I'm telling you're going to tell me teabagging my own teammate is toxic. All right, so then this is where we're going to shut the lobby down at this point, because I'm not going to get into that one, because absolutely it is. Unfortunately, yes, disqualified, because, yes, you cannot do that, folks.
I see what he's saying.
Sportsmanship.
If you're in, like, a professional tournament, I mean, try to keep it professional. You're not playing, with your buddies. You're not...
There were, but there was also, they went on to say that there was nothing in the rules that said that, that would be, an immediate disqualification. I get that it's not very, classy, for sure, but I don't know. I'm kind of torn because it's disrespectful if it was, to somebody else, the enemy team. I could see that getting, a ban. That seems more justified. But your own teammate, and it didn't say anything in the rules. And for a spot, so he completely banned him from that, that event and other future events. So basically a lifetime ban.
I think that's a little harsh.
Right. Maybe the next tournament.
Or, at least give him, a warning the first time,
Right.
He saw it once and completely... just ban the guy. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
And then when people started complaining about it, he shut down the lobby.
Right.
So I mean, it seems like this guy is dealing in absolutes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed a bit much. I get that.
It did. Have you ever experienced... okay, you did say that that's one of the reasons that you don't play online. What are these other reasons?
It's annoying. Playing online is annoying. It's because you get very annoying people in there. I mean, even if I do play online, I never put in the headphones. I never talk to anybody.
Right.
Because it takes away from the fun for me.
Okay.
Because I'll go over to the GF's place, and her son is 18, and he does a lot of online gaming. And the gaming room is down where we are, so we're hanging out, we're hearing him, and it seems like it's just not fun, because he's yelling at the other teammates, come this way, come this way, come this way, oh, we gotta do this, hurry, and it's that's not fun to me.
Yeah.
Right?
I get it when it's more objective based, where you're playing with your friends, and that's what I can't remember the last time that I've actually went into a game online that I didn't just play with my friends, or I wasn't just like even if I was playing something by myself, even in a story-driven game, I'll just go to the party chat with them and just hang out with them, because I find it a little bit more. It's more of almost like a social thing, or if you're trying to do different objectives or other strategies and stuff. But for the most part, I don't even go to the lobby anymore.
Yeah, and see, for me, it's just leave me alone. I'm not going to clan up with anybody. I'm not going to do no, I'm just going to be by myself. Let me do my thing. Leave me the fuck alone.
See, and here I have a sweet spot because I just met or hung out with all my gaming friends again. And it's I've met some of my closest friends playing video games through the chat.
And for you, that works.
Yeah.
For me, no.
You just...
I couldn't care less.
Stick to the story-driven games. You got into Battlefront for a good hot
minute.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. I played that a lot. I'd probably still play it if I had my PS4. But that's a whole other thing.
But you didn't find anybody in the lobbies that was actually worth talking to?
No.
They're all pretty toxic.
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't even hop on the chat or anything. I just went in there, did my thing, and that was that.
Yeah. I do like that they give you the option now because, for the most part, you can just, mute everybody else and, then you don't have to listen to them. Because, yeah, I've, a couple of times I would go into the lobby just to kind of hear what they were saying. And if you didn't play so well, the guy's like, oh, my team's trash. Oh, this, that. Why aren't you guys over here? Why didn't you save me? And, all right, whatever. I'm like, let me just go back to this more fun environment.
See? Exactly. That's why I don't do it.
Yeah.
It's just playing video games should be fun. It shouldn't be
it should be more
anxiety inducing.
Well, unless you're playing a stressful horror game or scary game or...
Well, I shouldn't have worry about a 14-year-old shouting the N-word at me.
Yeah. Yes. Ooh,
because I didn't give him a health pack in time. No, fuck that.
You're isn't it past your bedtime?
Exactly. Okay. So this was kind of funny. So the Wendy's logo can truly be described as iconic.
Yeah, I can picture it right now. Pigtails, red, yeah.
Featuring a fun drawing of Melinda Lou Wendy Thomas, daughter of founder Dave Thomas. The basic design has rarely been changed since the company launched in 1969. The most recent update was a whole 10 years ago. That simplified matters, incorporating a new friendlier drawing. Blah, blah, blah. It's quite a shock then to see Wendy's launch a radical new logo mascot. Melinda Lou has been reimagined with an emo look, featuring side-swept fringe, black streaks, and a double ear piercing. Now, you can see the logo here. I don't know. I think she looks kind of hot, actually. I think she looks kind of attractive. And let's be clear. This is not a speculative design or fan remake, but appears on the side of an actual Wendy's restaurant, as spotted by all the press and shared in the tweet below. We love the new look, but note that it's strictly a one-off, for now anyway. This special logo has been created for a new branch of Wendy's that's open in London's iconic Camden Town. Created in partnership with Camden Open Air Gallery, the emo design appears on the side of the store, underneath a sign showing the main Wendy's logo, just in case anyone's confused about what they're looking at. So there you go. For right now, it's just a one-off. It's just kind of a special thing. But, yeah.
It's kind of cool looking. It does seem... It'll be interesting to see if this kind of sparks other locations to do a one-off. Are they able to take liberties with the... I mean, did they have to get special permission from Wendy's and be like, hey, we will kind of want to do this?
I imagine so.
Right.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of hoops they had to jump through. But it would be interesting to see if, you get one in Louisville, Kentucky, that she's got, a cowboy hat on, or, just kind of, playing around with it. Wendy's, as far...
Over here in Utah, could have, one guy in, 3 Wendy's next.
I feel like Wendy's, as far as fast food restaurants goes, they're pretty open to change, and they're pretty rebellious, and their Twitter account, like, sometimes
their Twitter account is savage.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about Wendy's. They've never taken themselves too seriously.
No, not at all. I'm trying to think of any other, like Arby's, McDonald's. For the most part, no, they're pretty uniformed. This is the way that Chick-fil-A, Five Guys, like all these different places, like for the most part, it's pretty uniformed.
Yeah.
But Wendy's, they're just like, whatever. We've been around long enough. We've got enough like places. We're well known. We can kind of do what we want. Plus, I think it appeals to a younger crowd as well.
Sure. Like, if I were to see that Wendy chilling like that restaurant, I'd be like, how's it going?
Yeah, how you doing, Wendy?
How you doing?
Well, what's your name? That's Troy's love of goth chicks right there.
I like an emo chick every now. I like the alt
tatted up
Absolutely.
Emo chick. Yeah,
I like the alt girls. Just look at the one I'm dating.
There you go. Case in point.
Case in point. Very much so.
Did I not say in?
You did.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I was just reiterating.
Gotcha. For emphasis.
Yes.
Yeah. We've got one final. I mean, you've got a story, but this one right here, I had to share it. We don't. Not all the time do we get like local stories.
No.
Yeah.
No, this one's good.
Yeah. So, Utah's Westminster College offers a porn class where students will watch pornography films together. A private liberal art college in Utah will offer an entire class on porn in the 2022-2023 academic year, and students will watch pornography films together as part of the class. Westminster College will offer the class titled Film 3000 Porn, and states on its website that hardcore pornography is more popular than Sunday Night Football. Yeah, this is what they had to say, this exact words. Hardcore pornography is as American as apple pie and more popular than Sunday Night Football. Our approach to this billion-dollar industry is as both to cultural phenomenon that reflects and reinforces sexual inequalities, but holds the potential to challenge sex, gender norms, and as an art form requires serious contemplation. The course describes states that. There was one other part. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Here it is. As part of the course, students will watch pornography films and discuss the sexualization of race, class, gender, according to the description. We will watch pornography films together and discuss the sexualization of race, class, gender, and as an experiment, racial art form, and so on. Students can receive 2 credits for taking the course, according to the college's website. The class will be a spokesperson for the college told Fox News. Yeah, so because they're a privately owned college, they can kind of pretty much do whatever they want, and they've also been known for offering like different courses that you wouldn't normally get anywhere else.
Yeah.
I do think it's kind of interesting. Like, I think it's hilarious that it's offered here in Utah. For like those of you that don't know, Utah is a very religious, like very conservative, anti-pornography. Like,
yeah, we have billboards here that says pornography kills or something like that.
Yeah. So, but as far as like a class, like, here's where I'm torn. I think it's kind of interesting that they're offering this because there are a lot of different angles that you could take from this class,
Very
right?
Much, yes.
Yeah, talking about like, inequality, gender, race, kind of like what they were talking about. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to be watching hardcore porn with like a bunch of other like college students.
I would.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but
I'd take this class in a heartbeat.
Really?
Yes.
Just like watching some dude get like, or some, some lady getting like railed. Like,
absolutely.
Interesting. I love what they've done with it. Well, because you could look at it as like a form of art,
Yeah.
And then also talk about like, because it is such a huge industry. And it's also crazy. I think there was like a statistic done that said that Utah actually has the highest like people subscribing and paying for porn.
Of course we do.
I'm like, what the hell? Like, you can get it for free.
That's true. Yeah, paying for it is dumb.
Which I think is hilarious because we're also very conservative and thrifty. Mm-hmm. Like, Utahns are known for that. I'm like, why wouldn't they try to, like, I mean, is there a Groupon for some porn?
It's because this state is very sexually repressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when they have these feelings, they have to go crawl into a dark corner and watch porn.
Yeah.
And they don't want anybody to know
that they're watching it.
They're watching it. Mm-hmm. Yes, I would take this class because it would actually be very interesting to break down academically just the stuff that is shown in porn, like what they were saying, like class and gender and all these things, like the clear exploitation of women.
Yeah.
Not so much men, although that's starting to change. But I've heard this before that men in porn they're just props. Like the women are the stars.
Right.
And there's a huge
porn stars. Yeah.
There's a huge pay difference between the women and the men in the porn business.
Yeah.
Women get paid a lot more than the men do.
It could open the door for some interesting discussions for sure.
For sure.
That's why I feel like I think it would be like I've never been one to want to go to like a strip club. Just because, I'm like, you're sitting there eating some wings, like watching other dudes like get lap dances, and you're like watching like women up on the stage throwing money. I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me.
It's not that fun.
Yeah, but you think that this class would? Like, that would be the difference?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you actually have an instructor up there, you can actually have discussions about it.
Right.
You can actually have frank, honest discussions about not just porn, but about sexuality and about,
So you feel like the majority, like you'll probably watch maybe like 10 or 15 minutes of like a porno, and then it'd be opened up for discussion. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that wouldn't be. I don't know.
I think it'd be super interesting.
Yeah,
I really do.
It'd be kind of interesting to see how they actually like what the whole course would like outline, what it would look like.
Yeah.
What they would talk about, what they would do.
First week, anal. Week number 2, interracial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd take that class. Absolutely.
And you get 2 art credits for it.
Yeah, 2 credits.
Boom.
Absolutely. So, one last story here. Albuquerque honors Breaking Bad characters with bronze statues. This is a bit more of a recent story. Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul visited Albuquerque recently. They were on hand to see statues of their characters Walter White and Jesse Pinkman unveiled at the Albuquerque Convention Center. The Breaking Bad statues look just like the characters, and yes, it might seem odd for a city to honor the Breaking Bad dealers. After all, the pair sold blue crystal meth to the city's citizens, but the show's filming locations are popular tourist attractions. Lonely Planet even has a self-guided tour of filming locations, or there's a guided tour in a familiar-looking RV. The show filmed in Albuquerque for 5 seasons from 2008 to 2013. Its prequel, Better Call Saul, is just wrapping up 6 seasons, also filmed in the city. Mayor Tim Keller attended the dedication ceremony as well. He heralded the tax dollars, the jobs the show's popularity continues to bring to Albuquerque, even years after it went off the air.
It really put Albuquerque back on the map.
It really did. It brought a lot of attention to that city.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of and I feel like that's what some of these TV shows can do. You get like a show like Yellowstone or some of these other ones that like just bring attention to these locations that people, they visit, but it's just not as well known.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, there's another side of that where if you're the people that live in the Walter White residence,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even close by.
Yeah. Then you got to deal with people constantly taking pictures of your house and throwing pizzas on the roof and.
Oh yeah. But I feel like that's also with like tourist attractions anywhere in the world, you know. But we're such a pop culture that these things get blown out of proportion and taken to the next level for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think it'd be cool to see.
Oh yeah,
if I was in Albuquerque, I'd go.
Those statues look spot on.
Oh yeah,
like their characters. I'm really impressed.
Really good.
A lot of the times, like you'll get these, you know. I feel like they do a better job with statues than they do with action figures. Half the time. Like,
it seems that way.
These characters look nothing like them, and then like you actually get a replica. Although he's looking a little older. Maybe it's just for a role that he's working on, like with that big beard.
I think it could be because of a role, but yeah, he's an old guy.
Yeah,
like he's not a young man.
What is his age?
He's probably in his 60s.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's been around forever and a day.
Long time.
What do you think of when you think of him first, though?
Breaking Bad.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
66.
There you go.
Even Aaron Paul, dude, he's 42. RJ Mitty, 29.
Yeah, they're not young men.
Bob Odenkirk, he's almost 60 himself, 59.
I've started watching Better Call Saul. It's pretty good.
I've heard the newest season is fantastic, and like it's really gotten me. I don't know why. I watched the first season, and I started watching like part of the second season. I don't know why I just fell out of it, but I might have to give it another go.
Started watching The Bear too.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
I finished that one up. I'd like to see what you think of it.
But those reviews are for another day.
Yes.
But for now, let's get to stuff that we have seen completely with our Revs and Recs.
So, I know I was late to the game, and I know that Troy has already reviewed it, but I'd recently gotten Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, I saw a couple of the new films that were on there, and one of them that I'm like, I should give this a watch. The Bad Guys.
Yes.
I thought it was fine. There was a lot of twists and turns throughout the whole entire film, which made it really interesting. The animation was spot on. The voice acting, like the cast itself, it was a pretty solid cast.
Yeah, the cast is really good.
Overall, I did enjoy it. I felt like the second half it got a little bit better. The first half it was just kind of okay. And I was just like, all right, this is kind of like by the numbers. It was like on par with like Hoodwinked or some of these other ones, or what's the
Romeo and Juliet?
Or what's the Over the Hedge?
Over the Hedge, yeah.
Yeah. Like it was on par with those. But then like the animation got so much better. Like it felt like they stepped up their game when they're actually when the real enemy is revealed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, and I liked that even the mayor got really involved in it.
Yeah.
There was a couple of moments that I'm like the head of chief police lady.
Mm-hmm.
She was kind of annoying a little bit.
Yeah, she was like that classic animated figure that it was like, speaking of police, like that police officer in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yes.
Like there's always that one character that
zany over the top.
Yeah, zany, over the top. Her actions are really weird and I don't know.
It was a little much. But yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. It's definitely worth a watch. I think I'm probably at a borderline 2.5, kind of 2. It was decent. I thought I was going to like it a little bit more, but there were some moments, I don't want to give anything away, but there were some moments with like a couple of characters that are just like, okay, it's all right.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna have to give it a 2. If you already have the streaming service, it's worth a watch.
All right. And then I saw Nope.
Yes.
I
really want to know about this one.
This is Jordan Peele's new movie. Obviously, he did Us and Get Out. So, this takes place in the deserts of California. You have 2 characters whose dad owned a horse ranch, and he trained horses to appear in film and television. And their whole claim to fame was the very first moving picture that was ever created was a man on a horse, and he happened to be a black man, and that was their relative. And so they kind of capitalized on that. Well, what happens is weird during the night, like these weird noises start happening and things start to disappear. Animals start to disappear, and stuff is being dropped from the sky, like weird stuff like screws and phones and wallets, like all this stuff just being dropped from the sky somewhat randomly. And what ends up happening, what they find out is that there's some sort of creature, alien creature, could be a ship, could be just one thing that is stalking for some reason this one particular town.
Okay.
Now there are several side stories. There's one that has to do with Steven Yeun, who plays a former child star. And his story of his character was he was on a sitcom back in the 90s that had a chimp, and the chimp went crazy and ended up mauling and killing a lot of people.
Oh, geez.
In the studio.
Yeah.
Including a few of the members of the cast. And so there's that storyline, and that ties in. And it's... Jordan Peele is really good at building suspense where there really isn't any suspense.
Right. He did that with Us, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And even Get Out.
And he's good at framing a character in a place where there might be stuff going on in the background, but there might not be. And so you're like, he'll have a shot of just like scenery, and you wonder if you're supposed to be seeing something
right
in this shot or not.
Yeah.
He's really good at stuff like that. And he's really good at building up stuff that you only see on the second time you watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this is one of those. But it's really good. The movie itself is really good. The acting is really good. I personally think it's better than Us.
Okay.
But not as good as Get Out. Get Out is like almost a perfect film.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's hard to touch that one. But I think of the ones he's created, this is his second best one. Because there are some interesting ideas that are talked about here. That has to do with like consumerism, and like capitalism.
Were they like... was it just kind of like alluded to that, or you kind of pick up on the subtext, or was it like more pushed?
It was subtle.
Okay.
After you see the film, you start thinking about it, and then you start kind of connecting the dots and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to hang on. Let me get the cast here. I want to give them their due notice. So the cast It stars Kiki Palmer, Daniel Kaluuya, Stephen Yeun, Michael Wincott, Barbie Ferreira, Brandon Perea, Keith David, briefly, and a bunch of other people you've never heard of. But, I mean, it's a Jordan Peele film, which means it's beautifully shot, it's beautifully acted.
Yeah.
It's not scary, but it is a thriller, it is suspenseful. It leaves you with questions. It's, you got to go back and watch it a couple times to pick up on everything. But it's definitely worth going to check out.
Okay.
Out
of 5.
Out of 5. Out of 5 security cameras, I'm giving it. I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a solid film.
Dang.
And apparently, all these movies, Jordan Peele is naming after what people would yell at the screen when he was a kid watching these films.
Really?
Like Get Out, like Nope, like,
What about Us?
Well, Us I think is a little different.
Huh. But I like that. He's creating some sort of... You're going to, like, later on we'll be calling it, like, the Jordan Saga or something.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
One other film that I did see, The Gray Man. This one is on Netflix, starring Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Billy Bob Thornton, and yeah, there's a pretty stacked cast. So Ryan Gosling, he plays this Sierra, like there's quite a few different assassins that the CIA uses. It was very reminiscent of the CIA's Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Where they are these assassins that fly under the radar, and they are able to do things that normally, like, normal people wouldn't. And if things go awry, the CIA is pretty quick to cover it up and say, oh, there was a huge explosion.
Right.
Oh, this person went, so they could blame it on other things. But he's doing this job that he is sent to assassinate this individual, and he doesn't know why. He's just told, like, hey, he's a bad guy, kill him. And he does it. And this is because he was in prison, but he's so good at his job, they just recruit all these guys that are serving life sentences. But it doesn't seem like that any of them have an exit plan. And the person that he was sent to assassinate was a former gray man that kind of like lives in this gray area, hence the name. And he's got some stuff on a little drive that could put the CIA kind of shut down this whole project and could put a huge wrench in their whole plans that they're doing. So that's why it doesn't seem like they have like an exit plan for any of these guys, that they'll just use them and then just have somebody else kill them that's better. The only problem is Ryan Gosling, he's pretty damn good at his job, and so he tries to fly under the radar, enlisting the help of a former ally, Billy Bob Thornton. And it kind of becomes this mission where he's trying to protect... I don't want to give too much away, but he's trying to protect somebody, but he's also has to go back and rescue other people. It was a lot of fun. And you've got Chris Evans, Captain America, coming after him, and he's a huge dick. He's an ass to a lot of these people, like hooking them up to car batteries and shit. Like, he does not care like how many people it takes. Like, he'll do whatever it takes in order to get this job done.
Chris Evans is really good at playing a dick.
He is.
He's really good. Like in Knives Out, he's really good.
Oh, he knocked it out of the park in this role. And there were some really cool action fight scenes.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this film. It was a lot, like, I wasn't expecting too much. Like, I'd been following it, seen the trailer. I even put it, like, on my queue to watch, like, when it came out. And then, I got a notification from Netflix. It's like, hey, this movie's out. I'm like, I'm watching it. And it's definitely worth a watch. I feel like... No, I can't give anything else away. But out of 5 guns, I feel like I'm at 3.5 with this one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good action film, but it was kind of like spy espionage, and it had a mix of everything.
I'm gonna have to go back and try to watch it again because I got through about half of it and fell asleep.
Oh, yeah, it picks up for sure in the second half.
I'll go back and watch it again.
But it's definitely worth a watch, yeah.
So I kind of jumped out of order here, my bad, but I was just so excited to talk about Nope, I guess.
Yeah.
But another movie I saw, Where the Crawdads Sing.
Yes.
Now, this was actually a very rare recommendation from my mom because this is based on a book.
Yeah.
And my mom had read the book. She saw the movie was out. So she said, you should go watch this movie. The book was pretty good. I think you'd like it. I'm like, all right, I'll go check it out.
So you didn't know anything, hadn't seen the trailer, just went in blind?
Yep, went in completely blind. So this is the story of this young girl named Kaya who lives in the backwoods of, where is it? North Carolina. Like in the marshlands, the swamps of North Carolina with her family. Well, she ends up having to raise herself because her family essentially abandons her. Because her dad's really abusive. Her mom just walks away from it all because she's terrified. Her siblings leave, so it's just her and her dad. And her dad also ends up just fucking off. And so it's just her. She literally has to raise herself.
Oh, wow.
And she does. She finds a way to like make some money and one of the ways that she kind of keeps herself busy is she's a very talented artist. And so she starts to draw things she sees. She sees like little flowers and animals and trees and stuff, and she's sketching all this down. Now, this takes place back in, I think, the 1960s? Early 1960s, I think.
Okay.
So, what ends up happening is she grows up, and the movie starts off with this guy who apparently has been murdered. It seems like he fell from this really tall forest ranger station, fell to his death. But the way it happened and what happened, it seemed like maybe he was murdered. And all the fingers are pointed towards a weird little quiet marshland girl.
Oh, geez.
That's living by herself.
Yeah.
And so now she's on trial for his murder. And so the movie takes place with her in prison, in jail, and then cutting back to everything that's happened before, leading up to this point. And so that's when you get like her story or her family and everything. And,
kind of the backstory.
Yeah, you get all the backstory. While at the same time cutting back and forth between her and her lawyer in jail. It wasn't bad.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I thought the story was really good. It does not need to be in theaters. Like,
really?
This would have been just fine being something that dropped on Netflix or like maybe a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
Or a Lifetime movie, because that's what it felt like. Because it's a very small movie. I don't think it had a very big budget. It's a very slow moving movie.
Okay.
So this is one you don't have to see in theaters. You can definitely wait till it's on streaming or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be a good like date movie.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's worth a watch. IMDb gave it 7.1 out of 10. Fandango gave it 96%. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 33. That's Rotten Tomatoes for you. But yeah, I don't think I'll watch it again. But like I said, it's a good date movie. If you're like on a date and look for something to watch that one.
Out of 5.
Out of 5,
Crawdads.
yeah, we could do Crawdads. I'm probably like a 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a movie that's easily forgettable, but after you watch it, you go, that's pretty good. Wasn't bad. But a movie that we both have seen, Prey.
Yes.
Is one that just dropped on Hulu. Now, I'll say right now, unlike Where the Crawdads Sing, this should have been released in theaters.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's on Hulu. But this is a prequel to Predator.
Mm-hmm.
And this follows a young Native American girl who is really good at hunting, but because she's a girl, she's not taken seriously.
Right. So she not only feels like she has to prove herself, but she kind of does to these other people.
Yeah. And what ends up happening is she goes with this hunting party to go and track down this mountain lion.
Mm-hmm.
And while she's out there, she sees and feels that there's something else in the woods.
She's kind of crying wolf because a little bit, you see stuff that's left behind from the predator,
like tracks and stuff.
A skinned snake. But she's kind of crying wolf a little bit to the rest of these people. They're just like, no, it's just an animal.
Yeah, they all think, oh, it's just a bear.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And so she ends up trying to track this thing down, and it kind of goes from there. I thoroughly enjoyed this film.
Same.
I thought this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Predator movies, by and large, are not great.
No.
But this one, I think, went back to the spirit of the first one, where it's a smaller film, it's more confined. It's just her in the woods against this creature.
Right.
And I love the look of this Predator too.
Oh, same. Yeah.
I thought it was really cool because this takes place, I think, back in the 1800s at some point.
Long time ago. Yeah.
So the Predator had advanced technology, but not super advanced. Yeah. Which was a really interesting way to do it. So I really like that. I really like that, she had to take this thing or try to take this thing down with these very primitive tools and primitive tracks or booby traps and and
there's a lot of foreshadowing.
There is,
for sure,
a lot of foreshadowing.
I also appreciated that, from the get-go, they kind of show that she's pretty skilled.
She is,
right? And also, I like the way that she would they showed her hunting skills. They kind of showcased that. Whether it's by finding that kid and noticing a little blood on a leaf. And
I also really liked with the Predator that they showed him hunting bigger and bigger things.
Right.
He took down a wolf, and he took down he didn't take down a lion. That one guy did. But then he took down a bear, and also that the Predator more or less kind of has a code of ethics. If he doesn't see you as a threat, he's not going to hunt you.
Right.
So when they were tied up to the tree as bait, they thought that they were going to die, but she was like, no, he's not hunting us.
No. Yeah.
He doesn't see us as a threat, and I like that. I think that's kind of a cool way to go. But yeah, this has some great action. It's kind of gory. A little bit. It's very violent.
Oh, yeah.
I think the kills are really cool. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I think it should have been released in theaters. I think.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Hulu got it, and yeah.
But the cast, I just want to give props to the girl that's in it.
Amber Mid-Thunder.
Mid-Thunder.
Yeah.
Yes, Amber Mid-Thunder. She's really good.
She's been in quite a few other things. I was looking up her IMDb. She was in The Ice Road, Legion, Hell or High Water, The Marksman.
Oh, yeah, she's been in a few things. Okay. Sunshine Cleaning, Longmire.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But I think this is the one that's really going to have people take notice of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she carries this film on her back completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want like a nice, fun action movie, definitely go check out Prey. So out of 5,
Arrowheads? Sure. Because she was like trimming that sucker.
Yeah. I give it like 3.5.
I think there was a couple of parts that I was just like, okay. I mean, it was okay. I think I'm probably at a 3 with this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for a good Predator movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie Predators wasn't bad.
Right.
But
it felt more grounded.
Yes. Yeah. This one's really good. Yeah. I will say one thing that if I had to pick something that I did have an issue with is they were supposed to be speaking in their native tongue, but they were speaking English. Right?
It kind of made that transition pretty early.
Like you heard them speak. The narration starts and it's in Cherokee, I think, and then it goes to English, so you're kind of understanding that they are speaking Cherokee, but English so we can understand them.
They did that similar thing with like the 13th Warrior, and they've done it like in this one. It was a pretty hard. Like I would have liked to have seen maybe them speaking half English, half, and like kind of like made that transition a little bit more.
Yeah.
Slowly, gradually. Like what they did with that 13th Warrior is he would pick up 1 or 2 words and kind of like start to understand it, and then like it flipped over.
And then when they were talking to each other, it seemed very modern, the way they were speaking to each other.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I thought that was a little odd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, even especially her and her brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seemed like just 2 normal kids.
Yeah.
Like, it did. I don't know. It felt a little out of place.
Yeah. And I was always so worried for the dog.
Same.
Because if you introduce an animal into a movie like this, chances are the animal's going to die.
Yeah.
So every time the dog would be involved, I'm like, oh no, the dog's going to die.
This is the time.
Yep. But it's fun. It's worth a look. And then one last movie here. We saw a lot over the course of these couple of weeks. Bullet Train. I saw this one last night.
The same director as John Wick, right?
Mm-hmm. And Deadpool 2, I think.
Didn't he also do Nobody?
He might have.
Yeah.
That would make sense if he did.
Yeah.
So this movie stars Brad Pitt, who plays a character named Ladybug. That's his code name. And he's essentially kind of a guy who does jobs for shady companies, like he'll get blackmail photos, he says smash and grab jobs.
Yeah.
Like stealing stuff, like that. It's kind of like his character from Ocean's 11. Like, that's kind of how it feels.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, he gets a call for a job where he's got to get on this bullet train and go get this case. Really simple. Get the case, get off at the next stop, good to go. Well, a bunch of crap ends up happening where that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because we meet a bunch of these other characters that are assassins, hitmen, people with mob ties, all somehow end up on this train all at the same time and all fighting over this one particular case.
Jeez.
And over the course of the film, you start to understand why everybody's there. You get backstories for people. And it's a lot of fun. It's very stylized. The fight scenes are very realistic.
Okay.
Especially because they're in such a confined space. You can't do like big over-the-top fight scenes.
Yeah.
There's this one great scene between Brad Pitt, and you see it in the trailer, where the guy says, he has a gun on a table, guy says, this is the quiet car. They have like this quiet fight scene where they're injuring each other and they have to try and keep quiet. It's hilarious. But yeah, and people keep dying, and
needless to say, they go a few more stops
and turns. Oh yeah, they ride the whole. Yeah, they end up riding the whole line. Well, those who survive do.
Yeah.
And then the last, I'd say 30 minutes of this movie just goes batshit crazy.
Oh damn.
Yeah. It gets. Yeah, it goes completely over the top. But this movie, it's funny. It's got violence. It's got action. It's got some great performances.
What more could you ask for?
Yeah, what more can you ask for? Of course, Brad Pitt is good, but the characters played by Aaron Taylor Johnson and I can't remember the guy's name. The twins, quote unquote, they're the best part of the film.
Really?
They stole the show, yeah. But you have like Joey King in here. You got Bad Bunny. You even have Sandra Bullock. She's in here as well. And it's just this great. It almost feels like a video game. This movie.
Oh, geez.
Because you got to kill these people, and eventually you got the fight with the main boss at the very end of the line of this train.
Yeah.
At the very last stop. And it's just fun. Like, I haven't had this good of a time at a movie theater since Nobody.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so that's why I was saying if it was directed by the same guy, that makes sense. So out of 5 briefcases, actually no, let's go 5 poisonous snakes. Let's do that. I'm at borderline 3.5, 4.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. It's just fun, right? I mean, there's no big plot to it. It's not trying to say any deep meaning. It's just a fun movie. Yeah. So go and shut your brain off and watch Bullet Train. And I've been looking forward to this movie for quite a while.
Oh yeah, ever since the trailer dropped. Yeah.
Just like, this movie looks fun. All right. I think that about wraps it up. This is kind of a bigger episode, but we missed the last couple of weeks, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So, here's where you can listen to us. You can hear all our episodes, plus our bonus DLC episodes at patreon.com/WorldWarG.
Or you can listen to just the episode at worldwarg.podbeam.com or wherever you download your podcasts.
If you'd like to follow us on social media, you can find us at facebook.com/WorldWarG podcast. If you'd like to purchase our merchandise or purchase some merch, you can head to worldwarg.myspreadshop.com.
Also, if you'd like to show your support for the podcast, the best way to do so is to rate us, review, and share us.
And speaking of DLC, if you're a patron, head over there, click over there, and we'll be talking about everything from San Diego Comic-Con that we missed.
Yeah.
So, this has been World War G. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friends.
Sebastian the intern checked the audio, and the episode is good to go.